Hey guys, Tinfoil Tactical coming right to you from our garage today. I apologize about the lighting, but my lighting is always horrible, so don't worry about it. Today, I will be reviewing my gear and my setup going into my first PCSL two-gun match, which was a blast. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot of things. And first off, I'm gonna go into my gear. Then I'm gonna have the video with some commentary behind it. And then after the video, I will be going over my conclusions of what I learned and what I need to work on. Okay, let's get into my gear setup. Now, for this PCSL competition, I'm going to go ahead and use my Stag Arms AR-15 16-inch barrel with the 15-inch handguard. I have the Holosun AEMS red dot with this knockoff piece of crap magnifier, which ended up breaking because it just flops back and forth. So that ended up breaking. That's why these competitions are good, so you can actually test out your gear. I want to switch that out for a Unity riser, both of those. So that's something that I did learn over this competition. With all the throwing the AR-15 in the bucket, grabbing it, having this on the outside, catching and everything, I think it'd be better to go to that Unity riser, even though that's a bunch of money for just some mounts. But anyways, that's what you have to do when you go through your equipment. You actually use it, you see what works and you see what doesn't work. And this piece of crap just not going to work for future events. Now, this was actually my secondhand choice for the event because I actually wanted to try out my new Vortex LPVO that I recently got in a trade. And that would have been mounted to my Anderson Firearms AR-15, which is a budget AR-15. And I wanted to be reviewing that for y'all and pretty much push the round count on that to see when it fails. But because I didn't have enough ammo to go and practice with the LPVO, I decided to not try to throw another thing at me when it comes to this competition and just to run with something that I do have a bunch of reps. When it comes to red dots on AR-15s, I have a bunch of reps. When it comes to LPVOs, that would have been my first go around of actually using an LPVO. I didn't have that much time on it, so I did not want that to be another stressor when it came to the competition. The competition is already stressful enough. Anyways, moving down to my pistol, I will be running the Glock 47 with the Terran Tactical magazine extensions and also the Vortex Defender enclosed ST, which has been a wonderful red dot, by the way. I think after this competition, that will be the 15 or 1600 round mark with this this red dot and this pistol, and it has worked flawlessly. And now I'm going to come down to my battle belt, which I have right here, this Crydex belt, which is very bottom of the barrel, budget, with all the Crydex holsters, Crydex dump bag. I do have a nice IFAK and also the Darrow holster competition holster. I do want to upgrade to either a Darrow holster level 2 or a Safariland duty holster because you can get DQ'd in PCSL if your gun falls out the holster. So that's something. And with these PCSL stages, they are a lot bigger. They're a lot more intricate. There's a lot more running involved. And so there is more of a chance for this gun to fall the holster when you're doing this much moving, prone, all these different movements that we're doing. You have chances of that falling out the holster. So I think that it would be best to move up to a level 2 or some type of duty holster for that. Also during this event, the PCSL event, because I had loaded pistol and AR-15 magazines on this belt, plus the IFAK, plus sometimes with the holster gun, running with my AR-15, I did feel some sagging with the belt. I can see why the cheaper belt, once you get to a certain level, needs to be disbanded. And I think I will be moving up to either a core or a Blue Alpha duty belt. And so those are some of the things that I will be looking forward to in upgrading my gear setup. But anyways, this was my gear setup for the competition. And here go the video highlights.
Alrighty, this was the first stage of the day. Pretty good stage. I liked it a lot. Before this match, I did not do a practice competition or any type of practice shooting. I did do practice dry fire, I would say 4 times a week with the pistol and the rifle, but there was no movement in that dry fire, which you'll see I feel very uncomfortable moving with the rifle, detaching my support hand from the handguard. So that's something that I definitely need to work on in the future.
Heels touching the X. Your heels touching.
Heels.
Heels, yeah. Are you ready?
Shoot ready.
Stand by.
I feel like I should have had my gun already up before I got to my stop. And I actually had a procedural here. You were supposed to drop your magazine, then shoot the last one in the chamber at the steel, and then drop your pistol. But I took too many makeup shots and had to reload, and took 2 shots at the steel and missed both. Like that right there, I need to stop detaching that support hand from the handguard. And also running backwards. This did not feel comfortable. The AR-15 is heavy, but like I said, I need to get used to running and maneuvering the AR-15 in close quarters. This is the long range stage. This was my worst stage by far. I feel like my pistol transitions from not shooting a practice match before this kind of sucked. I will not do that again. I had to take off for work for this match because I usually work weekends. So anytime I take off for a match, I will definitely start having a practice match or some type of practice live fire shooting in order to not neglect my skills. I was hoping that my pistol skills would actually be a lot better than my rifle skills, but I don't know if that was the case. Definitely on this stage it was. Now, these steel targets are 125 yards downrange. My zero on my red dot is 50 yards, and I did do one training day, I guess you could say, with long distance. It was like 30 minutes of work. So at 100 yards, I felt like I needed to be, you know, in my optic a couple of inches below my target, and that's what I kept doing. As soon as I put my target on that steel, that's when I actually ended up hitting it. And that's why you see when I hit the first steel, I immediately hit the second steel. Wish I would have known that when I first got up there. But that's what happens when you don't shoot long range a lot. This is by far the most intricate stage. I feel like this stage had the most targets for a pistol and rifle. Also, starting off with the rifle was different. This is the first stage to start off with the rifle. And then once again, moving backwards with the rifle felt very awkward. You'll see after I turn, I'll take my support hand off the handguard once again, which I don't think I should be doing. And then also I do the same thing when I run to this corner shot. And then after shooting the rifle first, wow, that dot was bouncing all over the place because my arms were a little worn out from maneuvering the rifle. It feels weird maneuvering your rifle going straight to pistol. The weight and difference in those two things. And then right here, I need to get better stage planning. I'm bouncing from one side to the other, trying to get targets because my stage planning is trash. I forgot the stage plan. I've tried to do my best for the rifle, and then once I got to the pistol, I was just looking for the targets at that point. This was by far my favorite stage. You had an opening shot about 80 yards. This stage definitely had the most running in it, which I kind of liked. It really pushed you. My stage planning on this also was very bad. After this target right here, I'm looking. I felt like there was a target behind that barrel that I just wasn't seeing. And then we have this shot right here. I actually hit both targets, even though I took up 2 makeup shots. These 3 white targets, I actually had 3 missiles one on each of them. A lot of people were using the barrels as a steady rest. I didn't want to do that because I have that vertical grip and it makes it like feel awkward. But I bet if I would have done that, I bet I wouldn't have missed those 3 shots. So you live and you learn. Coming down to the pistol portion right here. I missed a steel target right there. That was a procedural. And then also right here, I have a steel target. And then I do this dumbass reload for no absolute reason. And then also 2 makeup shots on that last target that I did not need. So terrible stage. Liked it, but it was terrible. The last stage of the day, this one was actually very fun. I thought I did this one very well. I was impressed with my accuracy on this. I did have a couple of missed shots. It was actually with the pistol, but overall, I really like this stage as well.
Get ready.
I really need to stop doing so many makeup shots. That's a big problem of mine. Those makeup shots are just wasting time. I think I'm gonna start doing a couple competitions where my main focus is no makeup shots and you just live with what you get, because I feel like the makeup shots are slowing me down a lot and most of the time I don't need them. You know what I mean? So that's something I definitely want to work on going into the future. Had a malfunction right here with the magazine not seating properly, and also with, like I said, my floppy magnifier flopping all over the place. I did not miss any of these AR-15 shots, so I was very happy with that. Like I said, I think I only had 1 miss on this stage, and it was from the pistol, which was surprising for me.
So, what is the conclusion to everything that transpired on this lovely weekend of this 2-gun match? I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. I'm so used to just maneuvering and working with the pistol that working the AR-15 on those stages felt like I never did it before, which I haven't. And that was a big surprise to me. I thought that a lot of the skills that I had on my pistol would transfer over to the rifle. That's not what happened. My rifle skills suffered. And then because of lugging the rifle around, when I would go to my pistol, my arms were tired from throwing the rifle around. And so it kind of threw me off with my pistol shooting as well. Then with the stages being longer and more intricate, my stage planning, you could tell that's a big thing that I need to work on. My stage planning was terrible. I was forgetting targets, missed steals, procedurals, looking for targets when there were none there. So a bunch of things with stage planning. But also I think that was good for me to see those intricate stages with the rifle and pistol, because now I feel like when I move back over to just the pistol, I'm going to be able to make better stage planning because now I have seen what intricate stage planning is. So it's a benefit. It's going to help me learn and it pushed me. That's the major thing. All the running, because the stages were a lot larger. Loved every second of it. Even though I'm getting older and these knees are suffering, hey, I love a workout whenever I can get it. Now, let's talk about the long range portion. That was the second stage of the day. That went terrible, okay? No longer, if I take off of work for a weekend match, I will definitely be getting practice matches throughout the week. I think that's one reason I suffered. That was from two things, me being lazy and then also kind of suffering on the ammo being broke. But anyways, I didn't get any practice. I did dry fire a little bit with the AR-15 and the pistol 2 weeks before the match, and I was feeling confident. But when I actually got out to the long range, I think the long range still was 120 yards. Took me almost a whole magazine, it felt like. In the moment, there were a lot of shots taken, and when you're shooting the AR-15, what you don't realize a lot of the times when you see these people shooting is the holdovers, that height over bore, the holdovers that they're making adjustments real time. So with the AR-15, if I'm 20 yards in, I have that holdover because my red dot is set is 0 for 50 yards. So I have to compensate that holdover. But then when I switch back to that pistol, that red dot has to be right on. There is no holdover for the pistol. And so those are the things that, man, were pushing me to my limits, really. And you could see where I needed to work on and the things that, okay, he has a grasp on this, but he still needs to work on this. And that's what this whole journey was about. I'm so excited. And now I'm actually hooked on the two guns. And I think going forward, I think what would benefit me, I don't know if this is true, but I think starting to practice with a pistol caliber carbine for the USPSA matches will benefit me when I go back over to the multi-gun events. I really do think that. I know a lot of people hate and talk shit on the PCCs, but I think that they have their place. Is the PCC going to have the same weight, bullet trajectory, all these things? No. But maneuvering the rifle, that was a big thing. Running these stages and having to maneuver the rifle just felt like it was so crazy. I had a hard time with it. So I think in the future, I would like to move over to PCC, but not full time. I think what I want to do in the future is I want to do a match a week. And then one week I'll do PCC, the next week I'll do pistol. And I'll just oscillate like that throughout the months coming. But I want to get classified in pistol. But I also want to keep doing the two gun events, the multi-gun events. So those are things that I have to keep in mind. But you know what? I'm used to it. I'm an MMA fighter. I was doing jiu-jitsu, boxing, and wrestling at the same time. So I think doing pistol and PCC and then transferring that over into the rifle skills, I think will be the right move. And if it's not, I will find out and I'll let you know my conclusions, and then I'll change course to do better. Those are the ways that you get better. All right, I think that's a wrap with everything. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe, and please tune in for more content.